fraction. In the last class, we write these types of fraction whose denominator was 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. 1 meter length, they are divided into two groups, 2 parts, 4 parts, 6 parts, 8 parts, and 10 parts. And then we find the equivalent fractions. Today, we will discuss about equivalent fraction. Which fractions are equivalent to half? Are there any fraction which have the same value to each other? You have to find it. So fraction which are equivalent to half shown below. This is 2 by 4, 3 by 6, 4 by 8, 5 by 10. Because these fractions are equivalent to 1/2. Because when you write 2 by 4, you can divide the denominator and numerator by 2. Then you get half and 2. So this is already, that means this is a half. So they are equivalent. Also 5 by 10, when we divided the denominator and numerator by 5, we get 1 and 2. This is also half. So they are equivalent fraction. Fraction which have the same value to each other. This is also 1 by 4, 1 by 4 and 2 by 8. They are also equivalent fraction. There is a question how we can find out they are equivalent. So there is a rules to find out the equivalent fraction from each other. Are there any characteristics of equivalent fraction by which we can identify these fractions are equivalent? How can we find equivalent fraction systematically? So there is a possible way to find out the equivalent fraction. Yes, there is a possible way. You see that if you look half and 2 by 4, that means 1 by 2 and 2 by 4, are they equivalent? We can find it simple way. At first you have to write two fraction in this way, then you multiply the numerator of first fraction and denominator of the second fraction. Then you have to multiply the denominator of first fraction and the numerator of second fraction. So at first we multiply 2 and 2, we get 4, and then multiply 1 into 4, we get 4. So 2 multiplications result are same. So this number will be same, and if they are equivalent, when the denominator of one fraction and the numerator of other fractions are multiplied with each other, they will be same. Then we say that the two fractions are equivalent. This is the way, and this is the processes to find out the equivalent fraction. So the product of the numerator of one fraction with the denominator of the other equivalent fraction are same. In this way we can find out which is equivalent fraction. There is some problems to find out the equivalent fraction. We easily find it. At first we multiply 4 into 3. 4 into 3, we get 12. Then 2 into 6, we also get 12. So these two fractions are equivalent fraction, because the multiplications of same. When we multiply the two fraction 3 into 8 or 6 into 4, at first 6 into 4, so 4 into 6, we get 24. Then we multiply 3 into 8. 3 into 8, we get 24. So two value are equal. So two fractions are equivalent fraction. In the number 3, third number fraction, we see that we have to multiply 5 and 8. So 8 into 5, we get 40. When we multiply 4 into 10, also get 40. So two multiplications result is same. So two fraction are equivalent. Look at half. If we multiply 2 to the numerator and denominator, we will get 2 by 4. There is another way to find out the equivalent fraction. When there is two way. When you will given two fraction, you have to prove that this two fraction is equivalent or not. You have to find out in this way. But you will given one fraction, that means half. Then you have to find out the equivalent fractions of half. Then there is another processes. This processes in this way. You have to multiply the same number with the denominator and numerator of the fraction. Then you get equivalent fraction. So the fraction is half. We have to find out the equivalent fraction of half. Then we multiply the number to the numerator and the denominator by 2. Then we get 2 by 4. So 2 by 4 is also equivalent with half, because 2 by 4 we get 2 by 4 by the multiplications by 2 with the numerator and the denominator of the fraction 1 by 2. As a result, the two fractions are equivalent with each other. In this way, we can find new equivalent fraction which is unknown. But in this way, we can prove the given two fractions are equivalent or not. We can find it in this way. There are some problem to find out the equivalent fraction. There's a half, we multiply by 3 the numerator and denominator, then we get 3 and we got also 6, and half we get multiply 4 and 8. So we have to multiply by 4, multiplications by 4, and here is also 4, so we get 4 by 8. When we multiply by 5, we get 5 and multiply with the 5 and we get 10. So all three fractions are equivalent. All three fractions are equivalent because they are find out with the multiplications of the same fraction half with the different number. So all three fractions are equivalent. So equivalent fractions can be obtained by multiplying the numerator and the denominator of a fractions by the same number. Find out the fractions of 1/3 and 1/4 by using the same method like above. Equivalent fraction you have to find out. So you say you equally find many fractions. That means 1 by 3. At first we multiply by 2. 2 into 2. We get 2 by 6. This is the equivalent fractions of 1/3. Then we multiply 1 by 3 by 3. we get 3 by 9. This is also equivalent fractions of 1 by 3. In this way, we multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number, and we can find out the equivalent fractions. Also, you can find out the equivalent fractions by 1 by 4 by same processes as well. 1 by 4. At first, we multiply by 2, 2 and 2. We get, there is 2 and there is 8. This is also equivalent to 1 by 4. In this way, you can find another equivalent fraction. 1 by 4 is multiplied by 3. 3 into 3. We get 3 by 12. This is also equivalent to 1 by 4. In this way, we can find out any multiplication processes by the fraction. Here you write equivalent fraction in the blank. You see that this is the main fraction. We find 4 by 6 by multiplying 2. 2 into 2, 4, 2 into 3, 6. Second one by 3. 2 into 3, 6, and 3 into 3, 9. Then we write by multiply 4. 4 into 2, we get 8 and 12. Here it is in this row, multiply by 2, here 3, here 4, 5, 6 and 7. Here we multiply by 5. Then we get 10 and 15. Here we multiply by 6. We get 12 and 18. Here we multiply by 7. We get 14 and 21. All these fractions are equivalent to 2 by 3. In the same processes, other fraction or equivalent fraction we can find out. Here we can write 6 by 8. Here we write 9 by 12. Here we write 12 by 16. Here we write 15 by 20. Here we write 18 by 24. Here we write 21 divided by 28. Here we write 4 by 10. Here we write 6 by 15. Here we write 8 by 20. Here we write 10 by 25. Here we write 12 by 30. Here we write 14 by 35. Here we write 2 by 12. Here we write 3 by 18. Here we write 4 by 24. Here we write 5 by 30. Here we write 6 by 36. Here we write 7 by 42 by the multiplication processes. Here we write 2 by 14. Here we write 3 by 21. Here we write 4 by 28. Here we write 5 by 35. Here we write 6 by 42. Here we write 7 by 49. This series, all series fractions are equivalent to this fraction. This fraction are equivalent all fractions of this line. This is also fraction of this line, all are equivalent. In this way, by multiplying with these fractions, the numerator, denominator, we find out the fractions, equivalent fraction of a given fraction. And here you have to check it. The given two fractions are equivalent or not. If they are equivalent, you have to write tick marks in equivalent row, or not equivalent, then you have to write tick marks in not equivalent row. The first one is given for you, 2 by 5 and 4 by 10. They are equivalent or not. So you have to multiply crossly, denominator and numerator, denominator and numerator. So two number are same, multiplication result are same, so they are equivalent. Here we multiply. So at first 3 into 3, we get 9, and 2 into 5, we get 10. So not same, so they are not equivalent. Here's 3 into 12 and 4 into 9. So at first 9 into 4, we get 36, and 3 into 12, we also get 36. So same, they are equivalent. Here are multiply crossly. At first 8 and 6, 48. Then 4 and 12, so 48. So they are equivalent. If equivalent, you have to use a tick mark on equivalent row. Here you have to 28 into 4 and 16. Sorry. Right, using the mouse difficult. 4 into 28 and 7 into 16. 4 into 28, it will be 112. 7 into 16, there will be 112. So it's equivalent. Here 3 into 10, 5 into 9. So 9 into 5, we get 45. 3 into 10, we get 30. So this is not equivalent. In this way, we have to find out which fractions are equivalent or which fractions are not equivalent. We have to find in this way. Write a fractions which have indicated by the denominator and numerator. It is easy, very much easy. Number 1, numerator 2 and denominator 5. We know that numerator are in the upper line of the fraction line and the denominator down of the fraction line. So we have to write 2 upper level and 5 in the lower level, just below of the fraction line. And in the number 2, so denominator 9, so it will go under the line, and the numerator will be 5, so it will be 5. So in this way we can write the fraction if the denominator and numerator is given. Find 3 equivalent fraction of the following fraction. We can find the previous way. 3. So here we find multiply by 2, here 3, and here 4. So 2, we get 2 by 10. 3, we get 3 by 15. By 4, we get 4 by 20. All 3 are equivalent. Here we can write 4 by 14. 6 by 21. 8 by 28. 2 by 16. 3 by 24. 4 by 32. All 3 are equivalent. This line, all fractions are equivalent. In this, the third line, all fractions are equivalent. So in this way we can find out the equivalent fraction. Check the following pairs or fractions are equivalent or not. Write a calculations and tick whether they are equivalent or not. This is for your home practice. You can save it. You practice in your home SP. You have to find in previous way to find out which is equivalent or which is not equivalent by this cross multiplication processes of numerator and denominator, and you can find it. Compare the following pairs of the fraction which is greater and smaller by using this symbol. We see that the denominator of two fractions are same. Here also same and here also same. So which numerator will be greater, which will be greater? Here 1 by 4 and 3 by 4. So denominator is same. So there is 3 is greater. So 3 by 4 is greater. So this sign will be used. Here the denominator is same, but numerator 2 and 1. So 2 is greater than 1. So this fraction is greater than 1 by 5. Same. So 5 is greater than the 4. So this will be greater. Here is the problems. You said there is a 1. integer, and there is 8 by 9. So 8 is smaller than that of 9. So the result will be less than that of 1. So this fraction is less than that of 1. So 1 is greater. So we can use this sign for here. In this way, we can find which fraction is greater, or which fraction is greater and which fraction is smaller by using the greater than and less than sign. Addition fraction. There is 1 by 5 meter and 3 by 5 meter string. If we add them, how many meters together? This is the 1 by 5 meter, and this is 3 by 5 meter. So we physically see that this is 1 part of 5 and that is 3 part of 5. So it will be 4 part of 5. This is the physical, but we find it by the simple addition processes. 1 by 5 plus 3 by 5. The common denominator is 5. So divided 5 by 5 we get 1. So 1 into 1 plus divided 5 by 5 we get 1. So 3 into 1. So we can write 1 plus 3, we get 4 by 5. In this way, we can write or find out the result of the additions of two fractions. So there is shown a calculation processes. 1 by 5, 3 by 5. There is another way thinking. You can think how many 1 by 5 are in 3 by 5. 1 by 5, 1 by 5, 1 by 5. That means 3 by 5. So 3 1 by 5 here, and here is 1 1 by 5. So total 1 by 5 means 4 1 by 5. So we can write 4 1 by 5 means 4 1 by 5. That means 4 by 5. In this way you can write. As simple addition processes you can find out it. So it is easy. You can explain how to calculate simple addition processes. Here you can find that here is 5 by 5. So you divided the numerator and denominator by 5 and you get 1. This is the final result. Calculate 2 by 7 and 3 by 7. What will be? We simply add with each other. 2 by 7 plus 3 by 7. Common denominator 7. So 7 divided by 7 we get 1. 2 into 1 we get 2 plus 7 divided by 7 we get 1. 3 into 1 we get 3. So it will be 5 by 7. In this way we can find out. I say one student say please Mubashir, please, sir. Why, please? Why, please, Baba? Why, please, my son? And another student say, he said he did not understand the page 85. 85 is not included into our first term syllabus, so we will check it again in the next class, next session. Any question do you have? You can ask me by one.
স্যার আজকে SW কি?
HW, no HW today. I given SP. Which fractions are equivalent or which fractions are not, you have to find out. Yes, Tuhin.
স্যার অনেক স্যার প্রায় সব ক্লাসেই সকল স্টুডেন্ট ক্লাস করে না ঠিক মতো, লাস্টে যায় জাস্ট এইচডব্লিউটা চেয়ে চলে যায়। লাস্টে শুধু তাদের একটাই কোশ্চেন থাকে, এইচডব্লিউ কি? স্যার যে পরে বলবে তার জন্য তারা অপেক্ষাও করে না।
This is very bad. Today our student number of 35 student. Number of 35 student, but now 27.
Yes, sir.
Already 7 student gone.
All are running away.
স্যার কয়েকজন স্টুডেন্ট জয়েন হচ্ছে আবার বের হচ্ছে, জয়েন হচ্ছে বের হচ্ছে, জয়েন হচ্ছে বের হচ্ছে।
Okay, there may be net problem, but you have any questions about fraction, you can ask me.